to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have another amazing show for y'all. Today we have a music artist, Tia McGraff, and she has a new single that she recently dropped. Is Sometimes Love's Like That, and also we're going to discuss her album. Her current album is With Love, and we're going to learn a little bit about her backstory as an artist. And without further ado, I just want to welcome Tia to the show and say how you doing.
Hey, thank you, Shamaya, for having me on today. I'm doing really good, really good. Just, I love the topic about reinventing, because that feels like what we're doing these days, reinventing the wheel, so to speak, after the pandemic. And, just living life one day at a time right now.
That's true. And when it comes to your journey as a music artist and a musician, kind of illustrate for the audience what inspired you to start this path in the music world.
When I was a little girl, my grandmother used to sing for me, and she was from Transylvania. My grandparents immigrated to Canada from Transylvania in like 1939 or something, 29. And so my grandmother had the most beautiful voice, and she would sing at Christmas time for us, and it inspired me to sing. And I just started going into competitions, and I won the Canadian Open Country Singing Contest. And from that, I won some money. So I bought myself a guitar, taught myself 3 chords, and wrote a song. And I also had won some free recording time at a recording studio in Niagara Falls, Ontario. So went in and recorded this little song that I'd written, and it was just very serendipitous. Like, just doors started opening, and next thing you know, I'm down in Toronto on a CBC TV show, and with Johnny Cash and June Carter, and it's just really cool. And I just started putting out my music and to see where it would go, and really just loved doing my thing. I was always more folk Americana than country. So it was hard to get a record deal, a major record label deal. So I put together my own little independent record label and started releasing things on that. And that led me to Nashville. I moved to Nashville and started really honing my craft of songwriting, and met my husband, Tommy, who had moved there from LA, and he had a full staff writing deal in hand. And we started writing together and broke our rule of never date your co-writer. And now we've been married for so many years that that's my life. That's my story.
Now, with your album, With Love, where your song, Sometimes Love's Like That, is on the album, you recorded that at partly in Los Angeles, California. Is that right?
Yeah, we actually did it all over line. It was during the pandemic, and Tommy and I had written this song, and we just really fell in love with it. And so we laid it down in our studio here at home. We have a recording studio. And so we laid it down guitar vocal with a bit of click track. And then we sent it out to our friend Kevin Fisher out in LA, and he would add some guitar and, different production things, send it back. I re-recorded my vocals. Tommy did some harmonies, sent it back to Kevin. He added some more bells and whistles. And it just inspired us to finish the whole album like this. And it worked out so well that we found that the 3 of us just found this little kind of working relationship that was really cool. And because, of course, we couldn't travel anywhere, it worked out that we could all be in our own studios doing the work at the same time, right?
Right. And your music is known to be described as impactful and thought-provoking. If you came with the audience, share what inspires you during the writing process.
I would say I'm an idea. I always believe the song begins with the idea. It's like, you just picture the little light bulb that has to go off, and you say, that's a great idea. It could be something someone says. It could be the other night I had a dream, and a friend was speaking to me in my dream, and I woke up and I thought, man, this would be an amazing song. I've had that happen a few times. And when that inspiration happens and you get those little chill bumps that go, oh yeah, that would be great. That'd be a cool, that's like the light bulb's gone off. Then we know we have the makings of a song or the starting of it. And so Tommy and I will write the song, and then that's the inspiration for what kind of production and everything we want on it.
And if you thought all you did was music, that's not right. You do more than that. You have a book that you recently that you were author of, and the name and title of that book is Jake the Road Dawg. Kind of share with us, what is the inspiration behind that?
Well, I'm all about shelter dogs. And when we were living in Nashville, Tommy and I adopted a shelter dog. He's part husky and part Australian shepherd. We named him Jake. And he started traveling on the road with us. And so we would take him on stage, and we had such an amazing time with him and so many beautiful stories. And it inspired me to write my book. I thought, well, kids would probably love to hear this about a dog that travels on the road making music and making friends. And we put some songs in it and started going into schools and libraries and bookstores. And it also inspired us to create our podcast show, which is called Jake's Place Songs and Tales, TAILS. And a matter of fact, this morning I just had an interview with a local pet food company who is talking to us about going into the pet stores and starting to do these songs and tales events for them. So it's just a beautiful journey. We are able to combine children's story with the music as well. So we're inspiring a younger generation, and families get to come together and enjoy the event together as well.
When you look over the years, you've been working in the music industry for a while. You had an album back in 2018, Stubborn in My Blood, which got a lot of buzz. I mean, a lot of empowerment groups for women grew a lot of love towards that. What was it like to see your process of your previous work to now today? You're still doing it.
Well, I don't know how you feel, Shemaya, but during the pandemic, I think we're all sitting there going, where is this all going? What's going to happen, right? I mean, Tommy had a beautiful analogy. He said it was like we were out touring on the road, we were doing our albums. It was like a 30-car train, or 300-car train barreling down the track, and all of a sudden the pandemic hits and you're stopped, you're derailed. So just the fact that we are here today, I have this opportunity to be talking with you and sharing my journey with your listeners is a blessing to me. You don't know how much this is, that we can just share that we're still out there making music and inspiring people. And the fact that now I'm over different generations, like children are gravitating to my book and our songs, is just a beautiful blessing. And I'm just grateful. I guess the word's grateful that we're still able to keeping on.
You've been able to travel all around North America and also United Kingdom. Has there been a most memorable, if I can say that, performance to date? And if so, why?
We've played festivals all over the world. We played concerts. We play the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville regularly. One that really, really sticks out to me, back in 2018, we were over in England, and we were doing a school concert that night. And during the day, we had arranged to go into the school and do a little songs and tales event. So I was doing my author reading and had the kids singing along with us. It was just beautiful. That night, they brought their parents to the concert. And one dad comes up to me and he says, I can't tell you how awesome this is that, your music and your stories are inspiring my kids. But as a family, we're able to finally come out to an event together. And he said, right here in our little town, and he said, I couldn't afford to take my kids to London for a concert like this. And that really was beautiful. And it stuck out. And during the pandemic, it really helped me focus on, okay, when we get through this, I'm going to really start booking more of these, because it was really inspiring for us. And also we know for the people that came out and saw these events as well, bringing everyone together.
We're talking to our guest today, Tia McGraff. You go to her website, tiamcgraff.com. You also check out her album, her current album, With Love, and the new single that we've been talking about throughout the show, Sometimes Loves Like That. You, man, like I said, you've been able to be in the music game for a while. You also have won multiple awards over the years, including the Americana CD of the Year award. Kind of share how important it is for artists to get recognized, so that more people, because that's the point, more people can be inspired by your work and you reach new listeners.
That's the key, Shemaya. You want to, I've seen it all, I've started singing and recording songs in the days when we released records, and now we're into the wonderful world of online, and is anyone making money at it, and everything in between, where you needed a record deal, a major record deal. Now you can do it totally independently. And I think the bottom line, the common denominator that any artist who is successful and happy with what they're doing and happy with waking up every day going, man, I love what I do, is you have to keep passionate about what you do and be real with yourself. You have to speak your truth, write your truth, and sing your truth. Don't try to be something else. Don't try to go with the moving target, because major artists that are here today won't be there tomorrow. What's in today won't be in tomorrow. But as long as you stay true to yourself, your music and your voice will be timeless. And you can build a career and have fans that journey with you. Your tribe will go with you, and they will grow old with you, and they will still love your music. And then they will pass your music down to their children and their grandchildren. And then it's just lovely. And that, as soon as I let go of the fact that, I don't even want a major record label deal right now, I just want to do what I do and have fun doing it. It started to really click for me. And my music went up a notch, my creativity went up a notch, and my joy just went up a whole bunch.
And for the indie artists out there, if you will, and indie bands, when it comes to marketing strategies, I mean, you're doing it. You're appearing on radio shows, podcast shows, you're pushing your work online and offline. What are some of the marketing strategies that you found are most effective in promoting your music, and how do you use your platforms to reach your audience?
Well, of course, we're in social media, so everyone is needing to have, their social media together. As far as social media goes, we can go crazy with which platform do I use. And again, I think each artist has to find the one or two that work the best for them. Something that may work for me may not work for you, vice versa. So, and don't go crazy trying to be everywhere all at once. Just pick one or two that you feel really confident about, that you can build your audience and build loyal followers. We have a great promoter, Michael Stover, and if you have if you're going to put your money into promotion, find that one key person who is on the same page as you, who has the same values as you, who can reach the people that you can't reach on your own, and you work as a team together. And the other day I asked Michael, I said, what do we need to do? What am I missing? Is there anything we need to ramp up? And his advice was so brilliant. He said, Tia, I'd rather that you have 1,000 loyal, impassioned, engaged followers than 100,000 who really don't care, And when you have those 1,000, then they tell their friends, and it grows from there, and it's like a grassroots movement. And that's really what we're doing as independents. And I think any independent has to do that. Don't get hung up on the numbers. Don't think, oh my gosh, this artist out there has 1 million viewers and I only have 100 right now. Start with your 100 that are loyal, and they will branch out. They will grow it for you and help you with it.
That's a great point, because too, the other thing keep in mind is different budgets. I'm sure the bigger audience that are with some of these other artists, I'm pretty sure they have a much bigger budget. And the other thing too, to your point, is humble beginnings. There's a power in starting small, and
Amen. That's right.
It's better.
Beginnings.
Yeah, it's better to have like Michael said, the most active and people who actually really care about your music. Is better to have 1,000 versus 100,000 that just doesn't care. They just showing up to say they followed you, but they don't actually go download your stuff or talk about it amongst friends or whatever. So that's a great mindset to have. And speaking of mindset, it comes to your plans for your future of your music career. Are there any new projects or collaborations that you are excited about?
It's really interesting, because right now it seems like I've got, normally we would focus on, let's do our next album. But this right now where I'm at, we're getting all these different opportunities. So I'm writing a new children's book. And with that book, it's going to be another Jake the Road Dawg book, and I want to put more songs in it. So we're working on that. We're also working on a inspirational EP that we want to release. And because we play church concerts, we play, festivals and that they will say, wow, we would love to hear some of your more gospel songs. And so Tommy and I are working on that. And at the same time, we're writing and recording for film and TV. We're writing and recording songs that we just want to put on another EP and have released for our friends and fans. And so it's all these different things going on all at once. And of course, our podcast show, getting back to that and getting that more episodes on that one going as well. So it's a really inspiring time right now for me. And I just feel that Tommy and I are just hitting our stride and just coming into finding, like I said, this new audience, the loyal audience. It's beautiful.
Speaking of your husband, Tommy, you both, like you said earlier, y'all collaborate on songwriting. Can you tell us more about y'all's creative process and how you keep work fun?
Well, when you meet Tommy, you'll see how work stays fun. Tommy's a fun guy. He's about the only songwriter I know, Shemaiah, that moved to Nashville with a full staff writing deal in hand. So he inspires me. He's my hero. He's a great melody guy, great hook guy. So he brings that with his guitar, and he'll just sit there and he'll write melodies, full melodies, verse and chorus without any lyrics to it. And then I will come in with a lyric, or I might say, I've got this melodic idea, and he'll take it. And so we just have fun writing together. We love writing together. We do have our, like Lennon and McCartney moments where we'll, but we learned a long time ago, I was reading that there was a couple great composers, and I don't know if it was Rodgers and Hammerstein, someone like that, and they had an agreement that if you're writing and you come across a line and both of you are not in agreement of that line, then you just drop it. You leave the idea alone and you try to find that thing that you both go, yes, that's it. You may come back to the idea later and try to sell the other person on it. But so we adopted that, and that saves us a lot of trouble, a lot of arguments. And so that's our creative process, is we just start with an idea, whether it be melody or lyric, and then we write it. and we just move on. If something's not grabbing us, we move on and don't get married to the idea so much that you end up fighting over it.
And you both, with your work, you, like we said throughout the show, have seen a lot of success. You've been able to experience having various film and TV placements. So once again, for the creative process, you have a team, you have engineers. How do y'all keep the balance of not over mastering or overly thinking about the project and knowing when the sweet spot when it's ready to be released?
That's a great question. It's an amazing question. For us, we start from the ground up. Like I said, it's about the song. And as long as you keep it about the song, what is going to be the best for the song, right? So, and as an artist, I always put my song first. Even when I'm singing it, if I'm in the studio and I'm stumbling over something and I just can't get into it as an artist, 9 times out of 10, it's something in the song that's not right. So I'll go back and I'll go, we'll maybe tweak the lyric, look at the melody, something like that. But we always start with a guitar scratch vocal, and we do it to a click track so that we can build on it. And then we build from there. I have done the recording sessions where you go into a studio and you have everyone on the floor and you record it that way, which is beautiful and wonderful and expensive. But this works for us, and now, in the digital age too, where you've got some really beautiful synthesizer sounds coming out too, and string sounds, there's no reason why you can't record in your home studio and make it sound amazing. And at the same time, have the luxury of adding or subtracting tracks as you go, depending on what the song requires.
Man, that's some great information. And I want to remind our listeners that you have been successful in getting not just multiple awards, but various film and TV placements. So this is something that should always, be spread around the indie world so that people can take some notes, because you're doing it. You're not just dreaming it. You actually have it underneath your belt.
Thank you. And you know what, too, I'm thinking of this, always make sure that whenever you record for film and TV placements, that you have everything in place. You have your musicians sign forms, because when you get the film placement call, it's going to go fast, and they're going to want to know that everything is in place, that they can just clear this license and there's no issues down the road. So get your musicians to sign off the forms that they've been paid, and they can't come back and ask for more money later on. That your publishing and everything is really, you can just license this thing right off the fly. And also make sure that you have your band track without your vocals on it as well, because sometimes you'll get, I just need this as an instrumental. And there's lots of opportunities out there for film and TV placements now where they'll just require the instrumental. And so you have a great song with a great vocal on it, but you also can double up with a great instrumental pitch too.
Now, I can't let you leave without this last question. Those who are listening, everyone's always wondering what's the process for getting a TV or film placement. With your experience, what was your process like? Were you being reached out to, or were you reaching out to them?
I've done a lot of pitching, but the one that was the coolest was we had written this song called All of Us, and we wrote it with a friend of ours in England, and I put it on my album, and I'm literally sitting at home one night. The album's out in the universe doing its thing, and I'm sitting at home one night, in my pajamas and slippers, and I get this email from a producer in Australia. And he's been asked to produce a TV commercial to promote multiculturalism. And the title of the commercial was All of Us. So he had just been Googling song titles, All of Us, came across a few and narrowed it down that he loved our copy, our song. And so literally we I licensed it myself with him. Contacted our co-writer in England and got everything approved on his end. We licensed it and we ended up making like $30,000 right there. And it was just like, wow, this is really cool. And so it just goes to show that when your music is out there and it's on YouTube or it's on Spotify or whatever, they can find it and they will find it. If it's great music and it's from your heart, it'll find the way through the noise and the clutter.
Once again, talking to our guest for today, Tia McGraff. You can go to her website, tiamcgraff.com, and also check out her current album, With Love, and her latest single on that album, Sometimes Love's Like That. I'm getting tongue-tied. Sometimes Love's Like That. So once again, talking to Tia McGraff, any call to action people can take and keep up to date with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, please find me. I'm on Facebook, Tia McGraff, on Twitter, Tia McGraff, on Instagram, Tia McGraff, and you can find our contact. Email me. I love answering emails. And also, we're all about our rescue animals. So if you have pictures or stories you want to share about your beautiful rescue or shelter dog or cat or bunny, it doesn't matter. I'd love to read them and share them with you.